halftime speech or what?
No, I just thought the guys were disappointed in themselves. You know, the way they ended the half. Obviously, you have to communicate that to them, but they had a professional approach to the third quarter. So it was good to see, and it was good to see us do it on both ends in that third quarter. They missed shots they can make, but we also impacted them. Then the ball popped again. So, 40 assists is a great number, especially when you shoot 33 from three. And I know you guys asked me about this a lot, but 62 on the paint, 21 fast break, just a lot of positive things. So, and like I said, just a professional reaction to a really bad 4 minutes in the second quarter.
I think you guys went 8.5 minutes without Jokic there in the first half plus 9. Can you remember that long of a stretch without giving that to him?
No. And I had to be careful with it though. Like it's great we can do it, but I also thought he was stiff when he came back in. So there is a trade-off to all this stuff. But yes, you're exactly right. For him to play 27 minutes tonight, I thought Jonas was great. Tim obviously really good. Peyton's energy. Bruce was great. And then I was really proud of Julian. I keep saying this. I'm not saying it just to sound cool or whatever. You got to stay ready. And we have a lot of good players. So when it's your chance, take advantage of it. I thought Julian did. And it's good. It's not about him making shots. It's about how he plays. His mentality of being ready, playing at the same pace, and professionalism as the other guys have been playing like. That's really important. So a lot of positives tonight.
How about the moment where Peyton goes baseline to block, transition to Tim for the three? Which, another really cool moment in a lot of things, but how much does that mean to the team?
Yeah, I mean, it's cool because there's versatility out there, and versatility complements each other. Tim shooting, Peyton's activity defensively, those things, they're a combination of factors that lead to, team morale. When you're doing something that you're naturally good at and not worried about who's doing what on the offensive end, it leads to wins and positive basketball play. So it was really good to see. I just liked our attitude the whole night. And if we continue that, which, with wins and losses, they're going to happen, we'll get better every day, and that's the whole point.
You're a ball movement team, a motion team, and turnovers are going to be part of that inherently for you guys, but you guys are not turning the ball over this year. What's been the key to that so far? Passing
and catching. I know it sounds stupid, but it's a fundamental, and I think also not making things up that aren't there. It's open man wins. It sounds simple, but it's true at every level of basketball, and I've been proud of the guys. They've taken care of it. I would say a few times in transition we got a little bit wild with it, and we talked about that in a timeout. It's being efficient in transition is so important in the NBA. It's take the points that they give you, and obviously I think I said before the game, but missed layups and block shots in transition, they're turnovers. They're runouts, they're threes, they're twos. So it was good to see us take care of it, especially early in the year. And that has to be a trend that continues.
You just talked about defense and how, we're a team that can go out and score 135 a night, but we can't get into that mindset. Come out tonight, we don't even allow 90 points. What is that on defense that you guys can replicate maybe moving forward?
I would just say activity, professional activity. You're going to have nights where you play great defense and teams score 115, 120 points. The league is too good. But if your approach is correct, there's going to be nights where it really shows out like this one. And we had so many good possessions where guys, switched off when they drove the ball to the basket, communication, taking the next man. I thought Jokic was great. And by the way, Aaron Gordon did such a great job. Zion is a load, man. There's only a few human beings walking around that can deal with Zion Williamson, and Aaron's one of them. We're so blessed to have him in those situations. So, and I thought Nikola and Jonas are really good back there in coverage. So if we can do that consistently, it helps us win games.
You mentioned Jonas. As a coach, how nice is it to have somebody that's like that type of a play finisher? I mean, you just get him the ball in the pocket and he's going to score it.
Yeah, and the other thing is he's calm. There's a calmness to how he plays. When he catches the ball, he's not under duress ever. He takes his time, he reads the game. If the proper play is to score, he scores. If the proper play is to make the right pass, he does. And he's getting a feel in the dribble handoff game of what Tim likes, what Bruce likes. And that stuff takes time. I keep saying that we don't have training camp, man. We're still getting used to each other. So it's cool to see.
What does it say about this team that it's able to handle its business outside of those last 4 minutes of the first half the way it did against the inferior opponent tonight?
I'll be honest, I don't know, because it's only 4 games. That was a great reaction tonight. Those things happen in the NBA. 48 minutes is a lifetime, and so you're going to have ups and downs. But, it was a good first step that we can handle it. Just like I thought, we lost the Golden State game, but the fact that we lost that lead and then regained it and had a chance to take control of the game and win the game didn't go our way, but that was a good step in maturity as well. So you're going to find positives and losses too. So it's tonight that was a good sign of a veteran group understanding what the task was, and they got it done.
Any good moments with DJ tonight? Any conversations?
I just saw him after the game. He was getting ready. He was excited to play. Like I said before the game, DJ was a huge part of what we had here. His presence, his attitude will never be forgotten in the city. Part of something really special that year in 23, and he's been with us. He was with us, through a lot of success. So, anytime you see any of those guys, that you're kind of binded from that season. That you're brothers with these guys the rest of your life because you did something that is so incredibly hard to do. So really cool to see DJ.
Like you said, you've harped on staying ready, being happy for your teammates. When there's a guy like Julian who's contributed in big playoff games and had huge moments, like how do you sort of keep him encouraged when there's going to be a stretch of games inevitably where he's just kind of not in rotation?
What's funny is I can encourage them, but it really is the person. The person has to decide they're going to stay ready. Human beings in anything in life, if you don't get your opportunity right away, and you're full of excuses, you fail. And so if you don't want to fail, you stay ready. And you have confidence in yourself that when you get your opportunity, you'll be ready to play. And that's what Julian's done. And again, it's going to be ups and downs for these guys. It's a rotation of players that are going to play nightly. And there's other guys that are going to get bit opportunities. And when they get those opportunities, they got to take advantage of them.
One more. Building on Brendan's question, in the NBA, star players determine their rotation a lot. Like they get to have that kind of say in it.
Mm-hmm.
What's been the difference with Joker being a little bit more flexible with his rotation this year? What's that conversation like with you?
Yeah, I think he understands the depth helps, and trying to get him to the finish line is really important. I think in the past there were times where he understood and we understood that getting him out made absolutely no sense if you're trying to win games. This is different, and it won't be the same thing every night. Like tonight, I thought I kept him out there the whole first quarter because we were doing such a good job in the splits, and we're getting so many layups off the way they defended us. So why take him out now? Well, other nights, I think, even if he's playing well, it will make sense to have Jonas get in there earlier. And out of fairness to Jonas, and his body. And I'll tell you, man, Jonas's attitude so far has been absolutely everything you could ask for. If he plays 10 minutes, he's great. He's great on the bench. He's great in the timeouts. He's been great on the plane, on the bus. Like the guy's he just has such a cool attitude about him. And to see a guy that's starting the NBA for 10 years come here and just want to be part of this is pretty cool.
Thank you, Coach.
Yep.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Kristen and Nikola tonight.